I guess the spotlight is my cue to come up here. Good evening, everybody. I noticed as people were coming in that I think I saw a few guys that did not get the memo. But tonight is the Women in Theater's Shorts Festival. So I don't know why you're wearing long pants. You must be going through that midlife crisis stage like women go through menopause. They go through mental pause. Anyway, good evening. My name is Ron Wood. I'm the MC for you tonight, and we've got a great program planned for you. But before I get into that, I want to remind you about some things, 3 things actually. First one is the usual, please turn off your cell phones now, not later. Second, do not take any photos of the actors. It can be very distracting. And an actor does not want to be distracted and have to call out for lines. That's very embarrassing. And third, if you have to use the facilities, go out the door, hang a right, go all the way down to the Fun Factory, hang a left, hang another right. First right is for the men, second right is for the women, and the third right takes you to the parking lot. All right, we got all that settled. Well, on behalf of the board, the members of the board of directors here for Women in Theater, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us tonight for the 8th biennial, not to be confused with a new gender category, but the 8th biennial Shorts Festival being put on by Women in Theater. Thank you, I worked hard on that. It's not easy to stand up here. Anyway, the best written play has already been picked by a panel of judges. But tonight, the very hard job, is going to be up to you for the best stage play. Now, you've got ballots on your tables. Be sure to, after the performances tonight, to pick your favorite best stage play, hand it in to the ushers before you leave. One of the good things is that the winners of the festivals, the playwrights that we got here, are local playwrights, as well as from the mainland, also from the UK and from New Zealand. And they provided us with little introductions about themselves or about their plays, and we'll read that to you as each play comes on. So in the meantime, thank you again for joining us. Thanks for planning your evening. You are going to enjoy it very much. So, our first play. Let's get on with it. Now, our first 10-minute piece is called Ring of Truth. It's being directed by Morgan Liddell. Now, here's what Marsha Roberts, the playwright, has shared with us. I've always been fascinated by fortune tellers and how much power they have over people who believe in them. People turn over major decisions in their lives to a fortune teller because, well, they assume that the fortune teller has a much better handle on the future than they do. But what if you knew exactly what your fortune holds? Why would you still go to a fortune teller? The Ring of Truth is offering possible scenarios for you. A young couple in love, a ring, a fortune teller, the Ring of Truth.
Looks like it's made from...
Yeah, dried cow dung. And look, each piece says which cow it came from. There's Raylan and Waylon.
Oh, here's another Waylon. And another. Looks like Waylon's been eating his veggies.
Oh! And look at this one. It's in the shape of a heart. It's so cute.
Yeah, you know, you gotta kind of wonder, was it formed sort of naturally, or did the Judith try to...
Jeb, you're so analytical. Just enjoy the shape. Oh, look, Froyo, I'm gonna get some. Want some?
No, thanks. Don't feel much like eating now.
Yum, chocolate chunk. Want a bite?
No, thanks. But stick out your hand and close your eyes. No, the other one. Okay, you can open them now.
Oh my God, Jeb, it's the poop heart ring. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I thought it was a good symbol of our love.
You are so thoughtful. You know, I just don't deserve you.
No, it's me who doesn't deserve you.
Oh, look, there's a fortune teller. Let's have our fortunes told.
Oh, come on, Shar, you know that's just a scam.
Oh, no, it's Sabrina. Remember I told you about her? She's the one who predicted I would meet you, described you, and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I told you she might be here. She was like totally right about everything. I want to see her.
Okay, go ahead.
No, let's go together. She's really good.
Charlene, you know I don't believe in this stuff.
Please? For me?
Okay.
Excuse me. We'd like to have our fortunes read.
Of course. Wait, I remember you. I've read your cards before, haven't I?
Oh, wow, you remember? Yes, I'm Charlene, and you said I would meet Jeb. This is Jeb.
Yes, Jeb, so nice to meet you. Well, have a seat here. Let's see what the cards have to say this time.
Can we, have our cards read together?
Well, that is a little unusual. Normally I just do one person at a time. But, well, yes, I suppose I could read you as a couple. Sort of as one entity, if that's what you'd like.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, cool.
Well then, pull up a chair, eh, Jess?
Jeb.
Right, Jeb. That's a very unusual ring, Charlene.
Yeah, it's a turd ring. Jeb got it for me.
Well, let's see what the cards have to say. Oh, dear! Gosh! But maybe...
What do you see?
Didn't sound so good.
Let me explain this card. It shows a car wreck. See? A Chevy Bolt. Do either of you have a Bolt?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's too bad.
We're gonna be in a car wreck?
That was one possibility. But since you're here as a couple, it means your relationship is a car wreck. Specifically, it looks like the Bolt has run out of charge. Sort of petered out, if you know what I mean.
Well, you have been kind of flying at half-mast lately, Jeb.
What? I have not. What are you saying?
Let's move on. Yikes! That is quite... Well, maybe...
What?
The second card shows a huge glacier.
Oh, cool. We're going to Alaska.
Well, no. It means things have cooled off for you guys as a couple. A lot.
Really? I thought last night was pretty awesome.
You had to work late last night, remember?
Oh, yeah. My bad. I meant the other night.
Let's see what the last card has to say. Oh, wow! That is pretty graphic. I'm not sure you really want to see this.
Oh, well, that's okay. We watch porn sometimes. You know, to get the juices flowing.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see.
Oh, no. It's not porn. It's a body that's been severed in half.
Oh my God!
Yikes.
You mean the car accident in the first card? We're gonna be in a car wreck and there
You
are
mean we're
bodies.
gonna die? I thought you weren't supposed to tell people that they were going to die.
No, you're not going to die. Well, yes, you are going to die, but not yet. Charlene, another 52 years for you. 26 for you, Jeb. Unless you lay off the smoking.
Only 26? You mean I'm halfway done?
So, the severed body means that you two, as a couple, are, well, you know...
Disconnected.
Detached.
Divided.
Disjointed.
destroyed! Dead! It means you're dead! As a couple, that is.
That can't be right. Jeb just got me this incredible ring.
Yeah, I got her a ring and everything.
Maybe the ring is a symbol, in a way.
A symbol of love. It's a symbol of love. Oh, wait, a piece just fell off. The heart is broken.
Oh, no problem. I can glue it right back.
I'm afraid not. If something is made of shit, glue will not work. I'm really sorry to tell you two. But you are done. Kaput! Finished.
You mean, Charlene and I, we're over?
He's a little slow on the uptake, eh? I think you could do a lot better.
No, I really couldn't. He's the sweetest, most sexiest.
Sexiest? I
Oh,
thought
that's
you...
probably just temporary. He's the sexiest, most sensitive man I know.
But not the smartest.
No, for sure not the smartest.
What? I'm smart enough to know that this is all bullshit. Charlene, I love you. Char, baby, you gonna believe her? You gonna believe that we're not meant for each other?
Well, she did say that I would meet you and that we'd be together, but she never said for how long. And everything she told me about you was right. I wanted to see her again because I wanted to hear that you would get me an engagement ring like this one, but bigger. And that we'd be married. But she was right the first time, and I think she's right this time.
Well, I don't. I think she's wrong.
I'm really sorry, you guys. I hate to bring news like this. But fate is fate. You two weren't made for each other. You should split, like Charlene's ring here. Break up now, before it becomes really nasty with blood all over the place, like this card here.
Shirley, is this what you want?
Well, no, it's not what I want. But what I think Sabrina's saying is that we should break up now before all shit breaks loose. So I think you should leave. Please, leave. It's better this way.
All right. If that's what you want, I'm out of here. It's been big.
Oh God, Jeff, I'm gonna miss you so much. But I'll always have this ring to remind me of you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It would have been so hard to break up with him. He's such a nice guy and he loves me so much.
I'm so glad I could help.
How much do I
$100.
100? Last time it was 50.
Oh, predicting hookups is 50. Breakups are 100.
Okay, it's totally worth it. It'd take me forever to get up the nerve. Thanks again, really.
Hey.
Hey.
Thanks a mil. There's no way I could have done it.
Down, and the flames were higher, and it burned.
Oh, what an appropriate song, The Ring of Fire and The Ring of Truth. That's a lot of crap, right? Ouch. Did I pay you enough to help me out? I got a couple extra bucks. Anyway, wow, what a interesting play to start things off. Humor always works. Our next play is called Letters from Strangers. It's being directed by Tamara, Jeffries, who's in the audience tonight. Now, and by the way, Tamara and I acted in a play that was directed by Sandy about 20 years ago, I think it was. The Diary of Anne Frank, we talked about that, brought back some great memories. Anyway, the next play, as we said, Letters from Strangers, directed by Tamara Jeffries. Now, we asked Rob Nisbet to tell us a bit about himself and his theater experience. He says, I live in England on the south coast near Brighton, and I'm very pleased to have Letters from Strangers performed actually, so far from home. I write audio scripts for Doctor Who and always attend the recordings. I love to meet and mingle with the actors who bring my words to life. I wish I could have been there to share this with you tonight. Enjoy. 3 letters from 3 strangers. Let's check the mailbox and see if we have any letters in here.
Thank you for the world that awaits, for the dawn light that it brings, for the sunlight kissing my face. Thank you for the stars out on parade at the end of each day.
Another large white envelope, Philippe. It feels like at least a couple of letters in here. I've made another pot of tea again, the whole thing. Ugh. Sometimes I even put out 2 cups, like we used to have looking out at the garden. Sometimes I do it deliberately, 2 cups. I wanted us to not always be able to look out at the garden together. Oh well. Let's see what they've been up to, Philippe. 2 letters and a postcard. Oh, it's from Laurel. Laurel and Kevin and their 3 young children. I do admire Laurel. It can't be easy for her coping with the demands of a family. It's a beach, blue sea and sky. Oh, Philippe, they're in France. Now there's a coincidence. Hi, Kathy.
I thought you'd like to know we're in France. Our first holiday abroad. We're camping and arrived in a thunderstorm, but the sun's come out now and it's glorious. Kevin insisted on learning the French for all the foods I shouldn't eat. He reads the ingredients on every packet in the supermarkets. The kids are as exhausting as ever. There's a huge playground here where they sit on things and expect me to push them around. With much love, Laurel, Kevin, and the gang.
I wonder if they had to put the tent up in the rain. It's strange, we have this amazing bond between us, and it's the small, unimportant details that make me realize how little I know these people. Still, Laurel's making the most of life, as usual. Look at all those exclamation marks. She makes everything an adventure rather than a setback, even a trip to the supermarket. This one's from Evelyn. Oh, always the same pale blue paper, handwritten and always a space at the top where the addresses would normally be written. My dear Kathy,
I just had the most wonderful day. My son came round with his wife and their gorgeous new baby daughter. Can you imagine my joy at being able to see my granddaughter for the first time? She's so tiny, all scrunched up and snuggled in woolly pinkness. I just had to tell you what she looked like and to express my gratitude again.
Evelyn's letters always make me smile. They're so chatty. And as you'd expect, they're always filled with colors and descriptions. She's made cakes, and there's lots of detail in here about her garden. I feel Evelyn and I could be good friends. Perhaps one day we'll meet face to face. Oh, imagine that, Philippe. That would be so scary. I imagine Evelyn's a lot like me, perhaps a bit older. Eye problems like hers tend to begin in the late 50s. Have this mental image of her eyes. Blue, the same as yours, which is just a little bit creepy. No, I think it best that we not see each other. Oh, I can imagine her gazing down at her new granddaughter. She doesn't tell us her name. Oh, well, it's those small details that make me realize that I wish you were here sharing this pot of tea with me. Perhaps it is best that there is this cloak and dagger process that keeps us one step removed. Still, if one day Evelyn wanted to meet, she always ends her letters with effusive thank yous and that single affectionate kiss. I'm sure that kiss is meant for you, Philippe. I should be jealous. One more letter, typed and on stiff white paper, very formal. It must be from Micah. You can tell she's a teacher of English. I can imagine how it must annoy her not to put the addresses at the top and not to add her surname at the bottom. Perhaps she does put in all that forbidden information. From the little I know of Micah, I can't imagine her breaking all those rules. Though that could explain why her letters are always typed. For all I know, the transplant authority could retype them before she sends them to me, and they could get anyone to sign them from Micah. I'm going daft, Philippe, imagining some conspiracy in these lovely letters. I make assumptions about these people. What else can I do? I only know what they want me to know. Still, they seem genuine and sincere. Well, Laurel and Evelyn do. Micah, I would say, is more of a facts and figures person. Dear Kathy,
I hope this letter finds you well. I've been thinking recently about the letters I've sent to you previously. They always seem to give you boring details about how I'm progressing at work. I suppose I wanted you to think that I was doing well. I have just been offered a promotion at the school, and I've stunned everyone by turning it down. I still find teaching very rewarding, but I've been offered the chance to do something different. By the time you get this letter, I shall be in a remote African village, helping to build a school from scratch. It's something that I've had in mind for some time now. I went there a couple of months ago to see the area for myself. The people, the kids are wonderful. They just lack resources. Well, half the staff at my old school think that I'm mad. The other half have been quite encouraging, but what really persuaded me to go was something that one of the mothers said in that village. She had heard why I was looking around the dusty clearing where the school's to be built, and she smiled the biggest smile you've ever seen. And she said, I had a good heart. And that's true, Kathy. You know that's true. So, quite a transformation from stuffy academic to, well, I'm not quite sure yet. Builder, teacher, whatever this little adventure leads me to. I hope you still think that I am doing well, and that the difficult decisions you and your husband made are still bearing fruit. I'll let you know how things are progressing. There's no real postal system where I'm going, but I'll contact the transplant authority somehow. Kind regards, Micah.
I knew I'd blub. I always do. The trouble is I don't want to like these people. I'm jealous of them because they have what I've lost. They have you, Philippe. But I do like them and admire them. They have their struggles, but they still manage to send their gratitude in their letters. Letters from strangers. Laurel, Evelyn, and Micah. Pancreas, Corneas, and Heart.
Our first holiday abroad. We're camping and arrived in a thunderstorm.
Can you imagine my joy of being able to see my granddaughter for the first time?
She said I had a good heart. And that's true, Kathy. You know that's true.
Your kidneys are out there too, somewhere, but not everyone wants to make contact. Well, not a bad bunch, eh, Philippe? And they do help me to remember you. Perhaps that's why I sometimes put out 2 cups, because you haven't really gone. Shall we read them again?
Wow, what a change from the opening one. Think about things. I was thinking about that. When was the last time I wrote letters? Wow, especially the technology that we have today. I remember when I was younger and in the Air Force, I never wrote my family. His mom always said, call them first discharges. So that's what I did. But I do remember when I was in basic training, I was writing letters because a lot of guys, when they're basic training, they're writing letters because you're in this lonely place and you need that love. Well, I saw a lot of guys there too get Dear John letters, and that was kind of a heartbreaking thing, and that taught me a lesson. So after I watched those guys get all those Dear John letters, what I ended up doing was I stopped writing to my 3 girlfriends. So the next play is called There's a New Life Coming. It's directed by Nicole Cowan. Now here's what Marj O'Neill Butler has to say. Hello from my palm trees to your palm trees. My name is Marj O'Neill Butler, and I am sending greetings from Miami Beach, Florida. I think she sent the humidity over here too. Looks are deceiving. Now what we expect from a senior citizen, which there's a lot of them out here tonight, might not be what we get. Age does not dim the need to grow and change. It does not dim the wants and the needs. Well, here comes Doris, and you might be a bit surprised. By the way, this takes place in the library, so.
Dear heart, wish you were here to warm this night. My dear.
Good morning. May I help you?
I'm looking for the card catalog.
We don't use a card catalog anymore.
What? Why would you take that away?
We use computers now.
Oh, I don't know how to use one.
Can you type?
Of course. I use my IBM Selectric for all my mail. I don't have the best handwriting.
When was the last time you were here?
Probably 18 to 20 years ago. Maybe more. I've been nursing my husband full time.
I hope he's doing better.
He passed away last month.
I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
Can I help you find what you're looking for?
I'm trying to remember the name of a book my daughter told me about.
Do you remember the author?
No, and I didn't write it down.
That makes it a bit difficult.
I've spent so much time caring for my husband. My life has sort of passed me by. Not that he didn't deserve it. He was a wonderful man. Now I don't know what to do with myself. I've lost my friends in the process because I couldn't leave him. We could only talk on the phone. My daughter works overseas, so she wasn't able to help. So I'm caught in the twilight zone. Suddenly I have nothing to do, nowhere to go. I feel... Oh, you don't want to hear all this.
Yes, I do. And you've come to the right place. We're not only about books anymore. We have all the resources in the world right here, free. Let's look and see what books we have on grieving.
I'd like to be able to use the computer.
I'll give you some help after we look up your books.
My daughter suggested a book on grieving, but honestly, I'd like a book on sex over 60.
Let's look up what we have. That's interesting. We have 5 different books, but they're all out.
On grieving? On grieving or sex?
Grieving.
Must be a bad month.
What? Oh, you're making a joke.
I've always been a joker. I need a bit of humor in my life. I haven't wanted to joke in a long time.
I can see that. Let's go online and see what articles we can find. Come over here.
How do they work exactly? I've read about computers in our newspaper. We get the paper every day. Every morning I read it to my husband from front to back, except the obituaries. He didn't like hearing the obits.
I can understand that.
I really don't get computers. They use them in my doctor's office, I know.
We'll use a search engine and type in the subject line what we're looking for.
There's an engine in there? That's amazing! So small!
Yes, I'll put in grieving.
A dead spouse.
Yes.
Because my friend Patricia grieved when her husband left her for a man. And he wasn't even that attractive. You expect gay men to be pretty and well-groomed. He wasn't. Bald and fat. Good riddance, I say.
So, here are the articles. Stand here, I'll show you how to scroll. Did you ever use microfiche machine here?
No. My friend Gloria used to use one to check up on her boyfriends. She had so many, I don't know how she kept up with them.
Now we use computers. So you use your fingers like this to move the articles down as you read. Try it. Not so fast. When you see an article that interests you, click on it. Press down on the pad like this. Here's the article.
Oh, I don't think I want to read an article about using a pet. How many articles are there?
Looks like 57,400,000.
I'll be here for weeks.
We better be more specific in our search. What did your husband die of?
Parkinson's disease.
That must have been tough.
Especially for David. Me, I could walk around, go up and down stairs, do my thing in the house. At the end, he was stuck in a hospital bed in the sitting room, and there's only so much TV one can watch. I finally bought him the Playboy channel to keep him occupied. After a while, I'd have to leave the room. I got bored with all the fake breasts.
So, I've put in grieving for a spouse that died from Parkinson's disease.
Who?
What?
Who died from Parkinson's disease? I never went to college, but I know correct English.
You're correct.
Put in articles about sex over 60. I'm over 70, but I still got the same movable parts.
What about the articles on grieving?
I've been living that for over 20 years. Show me again how to get the articles.
See this bar here? You put your cursor in and type in what you want to read.
Cursor.
That little blinking thing.
Got it. First I'll read the articles about sex, then I want to go on one of those dating sites.
You have it all figured out.
I had a lot of free time to think. I couldn't leave the house, but I could live in my head. I can't tell you how many times I remembered my first time having sex. It was with my David, in the back of his car. We weren't married, of course, but I knew we would be. So we went all the way. I loved it.
So, shall I leave you to it then?
How do I write to my daughter on it?
You mean email?
She told me to make up a name.
Let's pull up Gmail.
She mentioned that. What does the G stand for?
Google.
What the hell? It's like a whole new language.
You'll have to set up an account. Here's where you sign in.
They want an awful lot of information.
They have to know who's writing.
Who has to know?
In case you'll start to research guns or making bombs.
I only want a friend.
Here's where you put in your email address.
Got it.
Sexy lady? Click on it. Nope, somebody already has that one.
Who? I thought of it.
Someone beat you to it. Try something else. Someone has sexy older lady too.
Not fair. I am a sexy older lady. How about this?
Okay then. Looks like you got that one. Do you have a password in mind?
How about...
That's a good one. You sure are creative. See that little pencil? Click on that. And now type in your daughter's address where it says to.
She's gonna be surprised to hear from me.
Not so much. Your name will appear on the email.
Maybe I should call her and tell her I'm sending an email.
No need, it'll go right through.
Sent. How long will I have to wait to get an answer? I'll call her.
Kind of defeats the purpose, but whatever.
I'm gonna tell her all the books on grieving are out, so it's sex books for me.
You must have a good relationship with your daughter.
Always have.
Not that many people can talk about sex. Never mind with your daughter.
We've compared notes since she was 16. Susan's on her 4th marriage. I know all about them. You would not believe what number 3 got up to. She's married to a woman now.
Really?
She says the sex is better than ever. Have you ever tried that?
Yes.
Oh, do tell! I bet you don't talk to your mother about sex.
Oh no.
I'd give it a go if I could find the right woman.
Okay then. So I'll leave you to it.
I'll call you if I need help. Seems you're the expert.
I'll be right here.
You're not gonna believe this. There are over 55 million articles. Oh, here's a good one. Sex after 60, positions and orgasms.
Can you keep it down a bit? This is a library.
Like no library I've ever been in. Wait till I tell Gloria about this. And Patricia. We'll swing by every day to read up on this stuff. What's that?
Your email.
From Susan. It worked.
When you finish, don't forget to sign out.
Why?
Someone can write on your account.
That might be fun. I'm not going to sign out. When they see my name, who knows what will happen?
Don't move that computer. Leave that right there. I want to use that. Wow, Seth's over 60 and she's over 70. I'm over 70. I might get lucky tonight. You know, it's amazing how you think about that, the computers these days. I know back in my days, you go to the library, it was the art filing system. Remember the Dewey Decimal System? Well, I was just thinking about it while they're doing that. The Dewey Decimal System was the hardware for Google, which is the software today. Wow, we were ahead of our time and didn't even know it. All right, I'm just thinking about getting lucky. Next coming up is a play called The Interview. It's being directed by Nell Foster. And this is from Patrice Hamilton. Francis Bacon once said, money is like muck, not good unless it be spread. But we aren't spreading the muck in all that much these days. Instead, a small percentage of people work like beavers, clogging up rivers so that the muck pools and stagnates. And while billionaires build rockets with their profits, millions of people struggle. And it's not surprising that anger simmers among those unable to make headway in their own small portion of that muck. Let them be appraised, let them eat cake. Well, those days are over. It's time for a reset. It's time for a new moral solution. International intrigue, high-stakes journalism, and a nefarious computer algorithm. The Interview.
Thank you for coming.
Wait, I know that voice. Ron? What's going on?
Thank you. Please bring in some chai tea with milk on the side.
You work for the Moral Solution?
Chief Financial Officer. I know this is not what you were expecting.
This morning in bed, we talked about me doing this interview and you didn't say a word. How do you know I'm not going to?
Because I love you and trust you. And because you were recommended by the board.
The board recommended I do this interview? Do they know about us? That's a crazy question given the resources, but do they know?
They know your work. They know your audience, and they know your connection to me.
If you didn't plan on hiding your identity, why all the drama? Having to wear a blindfold really freaked me out.
I'm willing to risk my own exposure, but obviously I'm not willing to compromise the entire organization. Have you read the materials?
I did. Looks like a pretty slick rationalization for killing people.
Oh, you've seen the stats. 41 million in just the last week. All of it channeled directly to the people who need it. Apartments for the homeless, healthcare, daycare. All of the charities we work with are vetted. There's no siphoning off for expensive salaries and luxury offices.
No money wasted on decor here, I see. So the ends justify the means, huh?
They do.
How do you decide who is targeted?
I don't decide at all. It's all done by an algorithm. Forensic audit and biographical research. It creates a list. It tells us what they paid in taxes, what they hide in offshore accounts, what they've donated, what loopholes they used.
Your other office, is that just a cover? Is Helen part of this whole thing?
Not a cover. I have real clients and Helen is my real assistant. Now this is all off the record as previously agreed upon. If we can, I'd like to focus on the reasons for the interview.
Of course. Instead of a firing squad, you've got an algorithm.
If you've got a better suggestion, just let me know. Unlike people, algorithms can't be bought off. If you set them up right, they do exactly what you ask them to do, without error, without emotion, without ego.
What about a glitch? If humans created the algorithm and humans are corruptible, then can't the algorithm be corrupted?
No. Too many checks and balances. Too many different people all working on different parts of the algorithm.
What about hacking? Someone could get in there and add names. They could use the Moral Solution as their own private hit list.
It's all blockchained. We've got this covered. It's in the file.
Look, I get where you're coming from. But if we want a more equal distribution of wealth, we need to elect the people to do it.
That won't happen. The propaganda machine won't allow it. They'll call them communists or socialists or label them as unpatriotic. Look, all we're going for here is responsible capitalism.
No oversight, no limits on power. That's a recipe for disaster.
Do we like having to resort to this? Of course not. If you've got a better idea, one that doesn't involve any risk, I'm all ears. Thank you. I'll call you when we're done.
Your organization has killed 53 people. That's not a moral solution to a problem. I don't care how much money you distribute to charities. I feel like I don't even know you.
Which is another reason I wanted it to be you who did the interview. I couldn't tell you, and I didn't like not telling you.
So you and your organization are Robin Hood and his merry men. Why not just go after the person responsible? Why target the families?
So say you've got a CEO of a large company. We kill off the CEO and the company's thrown into disarray. Jobs are eliminated, stocks go down. Do we kill off another CEO? More stocks go down, more jobs lost. Nobody wants that. So instead, we keep the CEO and we hit him or her where it hurts. And if they don't make significant changes to their business model, we take out another target in their bio. Plus, other CEOs get the message and start to make changes to their business model. What's that Nietzsche quote? Fear is the mother of morality.
If I remember my intro to philosophy, Nietzsche wasn't big into herd mentality.
Herd mentality is build that wall. This is crowdsourcing.
It's terrorism, Ron!
With minimal casualties. Look, we don't mind if somebody makes a healthy profit within reason.
You don't mind? How kind of you.
Before the moral solution, 3 billionaires controlled as much wealth as half of all Americans. That's 3 guys versus 160 million people. Now the 1% is suddenly finding money in their mattresses and they can't give it to us fast enough.
Children. Your organization has killed 2 children. You have kids, Ron. How can you live with that?
Yeah. Targeting kids is bad. It's only used as a last resort. I can't say the same for the people who make money selling weapons to both sides of the war, or Big Pharma who pushed Oxy knowing it was addictive.
I could leave here right now and turn you in. You could go to jail for a long time.
Maybe, but probably not. There are a lot of people in our organization, and that includes law enforcement.
This won't last, Ron. It never does. Just look at the French Revolution.
Yeah, well, they didn't have the internet. We're focusing on the U.S. market for now, but the 5-year plan is to go global.
Rulers have a knack for staying in power, and rebels have a knack for getting killed.
The elite aren't stupid, but it's divide and conquer. Whites versus blacks, men versus women, Protestants versus Catholics versus Jews versus Muslims versus whatever. They've got us competing over scraps and crumbs.
You can't blame everything on the rich and powerful. Intolerance, racism, those aren't about money. Some people are shitty just because they like being shitty.
Racism was created to make a source of cheap labor. Sure, people like to feel superior over someone, but all you have to do is see who's pulling the strings. Follow the money.
Then why the interview? You could have put this all in a press release.
Now, before we reach out to other countries, we need to expand our operations here in the U.S. We need systemic change. Affordable housing, no more dark money, a cleaner justice system.
You're thinking of targeting politicians?
Only the ones catering to the lobbyists instead of their own constituents.
That's pretty much all of them.
We're working on the algorithms now. They'll be ready to go in about 6 months. But before we do, we want to give the polls a heads up. Give them a chance to clean up their act before the algorithm puts them on the list.
You can't assassinate groups of people because you don't like the jobs they're doing. We live in a nation of laws. Yeah, they don't work perfectly all the time, but...
Look, you know the justice system is screwed up. Multi-millionaire indicted for sex trafficking, dozens of young girls, and what happens? He gets a plea deal. The FBI investigation shut down. Doesn't even spend much time in jail. He gets out most days on work release to go hang out in his old office. He could have been put away for life, but he's got powerful friends, and I'm talking at the highest level in both parties. You talk to me about kids? What about those girls?
I'm not gonna do it, Ron. I'm not gonna be a puppet for your organization.
Okay. Suit yourself. But before you go, you'd probably like to know what's sitting on that computer right there.
And what's that?
This week's selection for the algorithm. Even I don't know who it is, but it's got detailed bios, list of potential targets, financial stats. Interested?
Getting to know you better really sucks, Ron.
Could get you a Pulitzer. Of course, I'd want to see the story beforehand to make sure it's along the lines we've talked about.
Of course.
Just open it up. The password is freedom.
You did that just to annoy me. There's a lot of redacted shit on here, no names for one.
Obviously, it's not going to provide specific names before the job is done for security reasons, but there should be enough in there to build a story around, give you an idea of what the algorithm looks for, how it calculates costs and benefits.
Not exactly Pulitzer material, though.
Are we looking at a male or a female?
Male, though he's not exactly mega rich. I thought you guys were hunting Moby Dicks.
How much does he have in offshore accounts?
Roughly 30 million.
Where'd he get the money?
Looks like he skimmed it from a bunch of places, non-profits mostly.
What's his background?
Went to law school, UC Berkeley.
Berkeley. Good school. Married?
Divorced. 2 kids.
Age?
The guy?
Other kids?
Doesn't say. Looks like they're in high school, though. Lists their SAT scores. Not bad.
Fucking way.
Looks like this is a girlfriend. Are these bios, like, listed in some kind of order of importance, or is there some kind of code because there's an asterisk next to her info?
Did you drink any of it?
What? Geez, Ron, yeah, I had some tea.
Are you feeling okay? Are you dizzy? Is your throat closing up?
What are you talking about?
I went to UC Berkeley.
So, it's a good school. Lots of people went to UC Berkeley.
I have 2 kids in high school.
What are you saying?
I'm the selection.
Are you insane? You're not some multimillionaire.
Must be a mistake.
You said it didn't make mistakes. Have you been stealing from charities, Ron?
What? No, for Christ's sake!
Because you're starting to look like a guy who's got something to hide.
Must just be a coincidence. Lawyer, divorced, 2 kids, younger girlfriend with an asterisk.
Yeah, divorced lawyer dating a younger woman seems practically unheard of.
Lana, could you come in here?
Now what?
I want to have you checked out by a doctor, make sure you're okay.
You have it on call?
We have somebody. Could you get the doctor in here? She's not feeling well. It might be an allergic reaction to the tea.
No problem.
God!
You know the drill. Return the money, close the accounts, do your job. We will be monitoring you from now on. Remember, you have kids to think about.
Boy, I'm glad I have a job already. And won't be going on an interview like that. Whoa. I tell you, I'm going to cancel my Google, my Amazon, and my Facebook after the performances are over. Of course, I got to use it now. Okay, wow. Well, our last play for the first act is called Wannabe. I call it Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda. But it's Wannabe, and it's directed by Liddell. Now, Shelley Segal shares the following with us. I'm pretty sure that most of us have experienced those moments where we wonder if we're measuring up in life. I certainly have, and Am I living up to my potential? Have I made questionable choices? Hopefully moments like these are just universal blips. In the long run, your perceived failures may make you wise, or they might just make you a little crazy. In Wannabe, I have elevated self-flagellation and insecurity into a new form, art form at that. Let us now enter the home of Todd, Lay, and Rachel in Wannabe.
I learned the truth at 17, that love is meant for beauty queens. In high school, girls with clear skin smiles, who married young and then retired.
Hey, where are you? For Christ's sakes, we're late. Come on, honey, I know you look beautiful. Come on, let's go now, okay? What are you doing? Why aren't you dressed yet? It's gonna be over by the time we get there.
I'm not going.
What? What do you mean you're not going? Are you kidding me? You've talked about this for a decade. 3 decades.
Well, maybe I have, but I've changed my mind.
Shit. This is ridiculous. May I ask why? I'm sure there's a perfectly good, logical reason why you change your mind right now. You know, on the night. A decent, logical, pragmatic reason for your change of heart?
My change of heart has nothing to do with logic, Todd. When I looked into my mirror at this 11th hour, on this night of nights, I could no longer deny that I'm a complete nothing, nobody. I'm just mediocre, ordinary, non-preeminent.
Non-preeminent? Lee, that's not true. I've told you a million times that's not true. You think I'd
You're
say
my
something?
husband. You're obligated to appreciate me. But I know the truth when I look into that mirror, and when I look into my soul, and when I look into that empty awards cabinet.
Wow, you're going to skip a big night over an inconvenient midlife crisis? Over the fact your wrinkle or race doesn't work? Lee, this is the height of...
I am not a narcissist, Todd. I've told you that. I'm just self-absorbed. And this has nothing to do with a midlife crisis. This has to do with a post-life crisis.
Shit, this never makes any sense to me.
I haven't done anything with my life, Todd. Nothing of consequence. Well, except for maybe a few musicals. And it's half over. More than half. I gave myself 3 decades to achieve my goals. And I didn't meet one of them. Not one. Not even a Wikipedia page. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is worse than mere existential angst. My hopes and dreams have morphed into some kind of a bizarre bucket list. My youth is spent now. The clock is ticking. I'll be dust in the wind soon, and I'll last no legacy.
Shit, Lee, it sounds like you're on your deathbed. You have plenty of time to be legendary. You're only 48.
I'm 48 and a half. And that's more like 78 in old lady years. Did you know in Hollywood you're all washed up when you're 35? Yeah, really.
That's bullshit, Mom. It's all changing. Look at Betty White. You're still relevant. Don't fret.
Lee, come on. We're late to your reunion. Can we please go? Can we please postpone the drama until around midnight or until after you've taken off your makeup? I hate to sound insensitive, but your timing is...
Drama? You have completely trivialized my crisis, Todd. It's my 30th reunion, for God's sake. I suppose you think I'm being histrionic.
Well, it does come with the territory, doesn't it?
Don't you post this, do you hear me?
Look, Mom, I have an idea. Why don't you just do what most older ladies do and write a children's book?
Really, Rachel? Actually, that's a terrific idea. I could write about a very, very naughty girl who gets spanked by her mother whenever she feels like it.
Lee, please. Time.
I know the reason you don't want to go to your reunion. It's not that you're unaccomplished. You're just afraid some old fart is going to hit on you while Dad's getting ice cream or something.
Ice cream?
For your information, Rachel, and not that it matters, but back in my day, you were afraid if a guy didn't hit on you.
Oh, gross, Mom. That's unwelcome behavior.
Unwelcome? I love it. especially if the old guy was interested in my work.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, can we just go now? They're going to run out of alcohol.
Todd, please. I don't want to go, really. It'll be humiliating.
Lee, no one gives a shit. Trust me. Don't be so...
Self-involved.
Rachel, hush. Sweetie, if you don't go now, you're going to regret it later. And your classmates really want to see you.
Yeah, Mom, you better go. You'll be really old at the 40th.
Damn it, don't you understand? All I did in high school was yap about how successful I was going to be when I made it as a serious entertainer.
A serious entertainer? Isn't that an oxymoron?
Not a movie star or anything silly like that. A really important actor and writer.
Well, you did
and
make some good Bunyan commercials.
I bragged.
You bragged?
I bragged that I would score either an Oscar or an Emmy or a Grammy.
Oh, geez, Mom, what about a Pulitzer?
Well, I didn't really know what that was back then.
Look, Mom, don't worry about all the ships that have sailed. You have had the great fortune of raising me. You should have named me Emmy or Oscar. And besides, you know, you're really good at things like poetry.
Oh shit, Rachel. Nobody gives a shit about poetry but poets.
Lee, don't be so hard on yourself. That's my job. Oh, come on, honey, it was a joke. I'm just trying to break the mood here. You know, the melancholia?
I'm old and unaccomplished and invisible.
Mom, stop saying that. I can see you. You're sitting right next to Dad. And besides, you're not old. 48 is...
Don't say it.
But you look really good for your age.
Stop right there.
Lee, you know how shallow you sound.
Yes, and I never said I wasn't shallow.
Really? Mom, where are your values? You're supposed to be my role model.
My values. Just because I don't have tattoos all over my body and hang out at Goodwill doesn't mean I have lousy values.
Oh my God, everyone just be quiet. This is no way to...
Jesus! I am a failure.
Melancholia? What is that?
It's a word they used in the old days to describe utter helplessness and depression.
Shit, Dad. It's really bad this time. Hey, what was that poem Mom wrote a while ago? You know, the one that was actually pretty good? About self-actualization?
I'm a wannabe who should be, but won't be.
That is really depressing. Poor Mom. Oh my God.
Lee? Sweetheart? My love? May I ask what the hell you were doing? I'm sorry. What in God's name are you doing? Where did you get that?
It's called a habit, and I got it from Nonsense, remember? I did it in summer stock before we got married.
Yes.
Put that away.
Yeah, okay, Lee. I guess the better question would be, why are you wearing it?
Oh, please. Isn't it obvious? If I wear this to my reunion, it won't matter what I have or haven't become, or what I have or haven't done. I exist for the Lord.
Mom, that is really sacrilegious.
It's sister now.
Sister Mom, you look ridiculous. And a total fraud, and people are gonna know that you
Once and for all, you've completely lost it.
Yeah. Batshit. You're gonna embarrass us.
Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they say. Especially my smart-ass daughter.
Mom, look at me. You've raised a child. You've given birth. How are you gonna explain that?
A tragic mistake.
Well, what about me?
The reason I entered the convent.
Lee, just take it off now. Please, it's not funny. I'm not going to put up with your charades no matter how drunk I get.
You know, Dad, she's just doing this so she won't have to compete with any boob jobs.
Shame on you, daughter. Women rarely get breast enhancement at my age. I just want to look substantive. Like my life has had meaning. I'm keeping this on.
For shit's sakes, Lee, you've contributed to charities. You've started the neighborhood book club. What more do you want? Besides, you've lived here all your life. You don't think people are going to notice
All
that?
they have to do is Google you.
Nuh-uh, won't work. They protect your privacy in convents and your solitude too. I looked it up.
Jesus, Mom.
Language.
So you're telling me that you miraculously just investigated all this while you're getting dressed?
Yes. I was inspired by a movie. What's that one called with Audrey Hepburn? You know, the one where she cuts off all her hair and falls for Peter Finch? A nun story? Oh wait, maybe it's Sister Act.
My God, Lee. It doesn't matter. Just take it off, please. I'm begging you.
Yeah, Mom. You keep wearing that, it could become a habit.
Seriously, you've always been a little eccentric, my darling, but good eccentric. And I love that about you. But this is not good eccentric. This is some kind of pathological insecurity.
Yeah, this is bad and potentially habit forming.
Rachel, please. Your mother's feeling very vulnerable and desperate right now.
Yes, I am desperate. Christ. I'm a failure.
Wow. Dad, I've never seen it this bad before. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't I go with you? In Mom's place? Her classmates could see her accomplishments through me. She would love it.
That's a great idea. And I'm sure your mother has a nice dress you can wear, with sleeves.
I could even recite some of her poetry.
Seriously? Do you have any memories?
Of course I do, Dad. I love Mom's work. What I want is a Wikipedia page. I should score one now. I'm starting to age. It's funny, I thought a big acting award was something I was looking toward. But a plaque or certificate just hangs on the wall. A huge population can't see it at all. I could do it myself, yes, I know, but the wiki people should make me crow. They should research and dig and make up stuff to make me look good. That's really enough. That's all I want, and I will cry if I'm not wikied before I die. No Oscar or Emmy or Grammy will do. Only a page will please all of you. I think she was being ironic.
Well, hello, darling. Another change of heart?
Todd, Rachel, I've had time to think, and my life does have meaning. I have achieved a kind of immortality through my beautiful, talented daughter. You and all my hundreds of grandchildren will be my legacy. I don't need to hide it anymore. I'll just do community theater.
That's right, sweetie. That's the positive attitude we know and love.
Yeah, good for you, Mom. I'm glad you've dealt with your angst, at least for this evening. Now, go out tonight and have a lot of fun, get really trashed. I mean, it is a reunion after all. From what I've seen in the movies, no one gives a shit about anything. When you're old, it just doesn't matter anymore. I'm just kidding.
Am I really an eccentric?
No, my darling, I use the term loosely. As an adjective, not as a noun. You're a lively, slightly neurotic woman with plenty of years left to be impress people you don't care about.
Thank you, Todd. I love you for that. So, the Bunyan commercials were pretty good.
Oh, preeminent.
Wannabe. So that's why I'm in acting, huh? I'm insecure in things. Hey, wasn't that fun? Well, we got more fun coming up in the second act. Right now, we're going to take a 20-minute intermission.
Kitty, I would be back soon. I don't know, somehow I'll miss you. I love you, that's why I say Kitty-o, not goodbye. Don't be gone long, be back soon. Give me one long last look, bless you. Remember our old tune. Be back soon.
We must disappear, we'll be back here today. Perhaps tomorrow we'll miss you too.
It's sad but true that parting is such sweet sorrow.
And when we're in the distance, you'll hear this whisper tune. So long, pretty well, Cheerio, we'll be back soon.
cheerio, but be back soon. I don't know, somehow I'll miss you. I love you, that's why I say cheerio, not goodbye. Don't be gone, won't be back soon. Give me one long last look, bless you. Remember our old tune. Be back soon.
The Battle for the Front Seat. You're going to like this. It's being directed by Dr. Wilbur. Now, New Zealand's Rex McGregor put this together, and he gives us a short and succinct summary of his 10-minute play. A businesswoman has agreed to get fit by joining her wife on a tandem bicycle ride, but don't expect her to sit in the back of the bike. What's interesting about this piece is that the playwright selected the opening music for this. Enjoy the battle.
Daisy, oh Daisy, give me your answer, do, 'cause I'm half crazy, all for the love of you.
Ready?
Ugh, a woman needs a bike like a fish needs a man.
You need exercise.
I exercise.
You sit at your desk all day?
Exercising power. Management's all about cracking the whip.
Your lower body does not get much of a workout.
Blame corporate. They won't let me kick my own staff.
Thina.
Officious bullies. They crack my style.
Stop dodging. You promised to give this a go.
Unfortunately, I don't have suitable footwear.
Luckily, you have me.
Oh, how ugly.
They are the latest style.
The things women subject themselves to for fashion.
Like you and your heels.
Stilettos are practical. Ideal for squashing underlings.
Babe.
In the Elizabethan age, women wore huge millstones around their neck. In Marie Antoinette's time, it was towering powdered wigs. In Queen Victoria's, it was hooped skirts and bustles. But we, in the Kardashian age, beat them all with these monstrosities.
Let's roll.
Be honest, Taz. Do I look elegant?
I must have married you for your cheerful personality.
Charming.
Give me those. We'll save those for the bedroom. The only place they're fit for.
Try dominating a boardroom in these.
Hop on.
Move.
Well, it's best practice to mount while stationary.
I meant you. Move back a seat.
We'll swap places later once you've learned the basics.
Newsflash, I know how to ride a bike.
A tandem requires special control skills.
Oh, right up my alley.
Starting with cooperation. Can you be cooperative?
For the sake of novelty.
Right foot up, push off on 3. 1, 2.
Oh, hold on. These handlebars are jammed.
The captain does the steering.
I knew that.
Let's try again. 1.
Oh, hold on. The back wheel is wobbly.
It was fine a moment ago.
Oh, until the added weight of my untoned butt.
Well, let's focus on toning it.
A captain's top priority should be vehicle safety.
Seriously, you want me to check?
Unless you're hoping the wheel falls off.
Oh, why on earth would I want that?
So I land on my butt, which you're so keen to flatten.
Getting you in shape is for your health.
Yet when I raise a health and safety issue...
Okay, to make you happy.
That should be everyone's goal, Tab.
The wheel's perfectly tight.
Excellent, we're all set.
Thina, we were gonna wait until you were up to speed.
I'm well ahead of you. I've already arranged a vehicle inspection and nailed that tricky reverse countdown.
A captain has other responsibilities.
Like keeping the crew in line.
Like warning of upcoming bumps.
That's how I keep my crew in line.
On a tandem, the rear rider's called the stoker.
Oh, stoker? I wish I would have known that before.
Ooh, you admit you haven't learned everything.
If I would have known I'd be called a coal shoveler, I would have never sat back there to begin with.
It's just a word.
To you, maybe you don't mind being called a laborer since you are one.
Do you even know what a personal trainer actually does?
I never dared ask. You might think I was angling for a session.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Spare me.
Anytime.
I have no desire to be tortured.
The job is mostly encouragement.
As the Spanish Inquisition told their victims.
Oh, my clients enjoy physical exertion.
Bully for them.
It's a scientifically proven high.
Then climb aboard and stoke away.
But I don't think you
Do you want me to exercise or not?
Okay.
This is the natural order of things, the leader in charge.
Whatever.
1, 2, 3.
Go, Dina.
Comes down to strength of character.
Strength of thighs.
Are you stoking?
The captain sets the pace. The humble stoker is just along for the ride.
What?
I could coast with my feet off the pedals. You wouldn't even know.
Hey!
I really admire you, babe. I never would have dreamt you'd actually volunteer for hard work.
Hang on. You mean it's tougher? Let me get this straight. It's tougher up here?
Wait until you do a hill start. You'll feel it all through your hamstrings, all the way to your glutes.
I don't even know where those are.
Oh, you soon will. Muscular pain is really easy to pinpoint.
Hold on. We haven't checked the front wheel yet.
Dina.
Safety first.
Go on then.
An efficient manager avoids menial tasks. Delegates.
If I do this, will you stop stalling?
Absolutely.
Wheel's perfectly fine.
Excellent. We're all set.
I thought you refused to be the stoker.
The French word for stoker is chauffeur.
Oh, is that elegant enough for you?
Hardly. I prefer passenger, but it suits you, Taz. It's your position.
You win.
As usual.
I hope you weren't planning on coasting with your feet off the pedals.
I believe you said you would never know.
No, I didn't. I said if I did it, you wouldn't know.
If you can get away with it, so can I. I am way more devious.
I'm not questioning your deviousness, babe, but I'll still know.
How?
By your groans.
What groans?
The ones you'll utter when your legs are extended for a few seconds.
Sorry?
The pain will start in your adductors and quickly spread to your quads.
I don't even know where those are.
You soon will. I'll have your feet on those pedals in no time.
Well, fine. I'll just rest them there and sit back, relax, while you do all the work.
Dream on. As long as your feet touch the pedals, I'll set the pace for your legs.
Well, fine. Then I'll rest them here on the bar.
Ooh, good for you. You'll actually benefit in your calf muscles, all of them.
I only have 2.
4, actually.
I think I know how many calves I have. 1 per leg.
Consisting of your gastrocnemius and soleus.
Sounds excessive.
I haven't even mentioned your fibularis longus or your tibialis posterior or your... But let's just ride. You'll soon be acutely aware of the whole caboodle.
How many?
1, 2, 3. That's just the start count, not the number of muscles. Not by a long shot.
Oh.
Batting for the front seat. We just about saw a live cat fight. Okay, you know what I would like to see you doing that part? Fellow actors, Ross Martineau and Joe Dema. I think that would be funny. Don't tell them I said that. Okay, the next play is called Meeting of the Minds, and it's directed by Cass Foster. Now, this is from Diane and Nichols. You know, when we're looking for a partner, we often hope that the other person will share our interests and maybe perhaps some of our personality traits as well. The good traits, like the things that we like best about ourselves, not the fact that we're so obsessed with peanut butter waffles that we fill our closets full of them, or the fact that we always root for both teams at a basketball game so nobody's feelings get hurt. What is this, a play about millennials? We want to share things like our love of squirrels and Batman pajamas. You know, the cool stuff. I have a Mickey Mouse watch. But what if we met a person on the blind date who was a little bit too much like us? Well, we're going to find out.
Oh, you must be
I'm
Emma.
Yes. Nice to finally meet you in person, Taylor. Oh, thank you. Well, I do work out.
I didn't mean, I was just...
No, it's okay. I get that a lot.
Yeah, so first dates are always a little...
Awkward. I know.
Oh. I'm glad you like this shirt. I wasn't exactly sure what I should...
Where? No, it looks good.
Thank you. And, so this is,
Yeah. So, how were you able to read my...
I was born that way, and you too, I see.
So you're...
Yeah.
Wow. I must admit, I did kind of pick up on that vibe on...
What's Tinder?
Yeah.
We've got quite a bit in common then.
I guess so. Amazing. You know, I've never met another.
No, me neither.
Well, this is a first date. If we can both read each other's...
Which it looks like we can.
Then maybe it would be helpful if we laid down some...
Rules? Maybe, or we could just see how it
goes. Okay. But how do we...
Yeah, that's a good point.
It might be more difficult than I thought.
Unless we...
Rules then? Maybe we should start over.
Okay. Hello, Emma. My name is
Taylor. I know, but don't you think we should introduce ourselves?
I can't help it. I already know.
Goodness. How do we do this?
It's kind of challenging, but...
Fun at the same time?
Yeah, it's weird having someone inside my head.
I know. Rules then.
So you think we should...
Yes. Act like normal people on a first date.
All right then. On a first date, we would introduce...
Ourselves, yes, but we're already...
Past that.
Interests. Let's begin there. I like...
Oh, me too.
That's a start, but you really should have let me say it first.
I should have. I'm sorry.
Otherwise, what's the point of even...
Talking? Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So...
Dogs.
Yeah.
I like them.
I know. Me too.
Pasta. Me
too.
Your favorite color is green?
Your favorite fruit is...
Emma.
Sorry. I should let you say it.
Yeah, and I should let you tell it.
How do we do this?
What, can you?
Turn it off? No. Can you? Never mind. I already know the answer.
I know you know, but let me tell it.
I'll try to turn it off.
I will too, but how are we going to...
Just think of something else.
Like what?
Anything. Just distract yourself while we're talking.
I have another idea. It's kind of radical.
Not that radical?
Well, you have to admit the situation is...
Unique, yeah. Well, we could try it. Okay. Let's do it.
Good, okay. Ready? Never mind. I know you are.
I'm ready.
I know. Wow.
That was...
Yes, it was.
I thought it would be...
creepy to have somebody eavesdropping on my private.
But it
wasn't. Not at all.
And that one part.
I know.
Yeah, that one part.
And besides that incredible...
Yeah?
You know, Emma, between the two of us, we could...
Las Vegas? Why were you just thinking of Las Vegas?
Oh, obvious reasons.
Romantic, yeah.
And...
But if we did that...
Yeah, that would be cheating.
Yeah, not exactly moral.
Or...
Yeah.
Still, I don't think it's against the law, though, is it?
Is it?
Is it? I mean, we can't help it. We're born this way.
We would just be using our natural gifts.
Precisely. Vegas. If we played the slots.
And blackjack.
And poker, we'd be able to... Big payola.
I can't, Taylor. It isn't right. We should use our gifts for good instead of...
No, it's not really evil.
And besides, I just
Met me, I know.
Hey, what do you mean you don't know if you can trust me?
I just...
Look, I was really young when that happened. I told my mom I was sorry.
I know.
You can't hold it against me. I was 6 years old. They were my favorite cookies.
Taylor, stealing is stealing. And besides, what does that remark even mean? God helps those who help themselves.
I was simply trying to be
funny. I know.
Let me say it.
Okay.
Hey. I'm sorry. Come on, Emma. Vegas. Think about it. This is I was going to say, golden opportunity. And I know you know, but thank you for letting me say it. Oh, yeah, you're right. There's a possibility we could both drive each other crazy. It's also possible we could
have the best time of our lives.
That is possible, too. And personally, I prefer that second possibility, as you know.
What about this, though? As far as the gambling goes, we have
unfair advantage, that's true, but let's face it.
The big casinos do rip people off. It's almost impossible for a normal person to win in Vegas. Still, compromise? I'm listening.
Okay, what if we won just enough money to
pay for our mini vacation together and nothing else? I haven't had a vacation since...
I know. You deserve one after working so hard at that.
That's true.
And we could take a couple of days.
Really get to know one another.
There's only one flaw with our plan.
I know. A big one.
We already know everything about each other.
I know.
Still. Be fun to see some shows together. Mini vacation with you.
And you're so...
Okay,
I'm in. I agree. But we should at least practice acting like normal people.
Right, so people don't catch on that we're really...
Exactly. No, I'm not sure we could do it. Possibly. If we really, really practice.
It's worth it. Come on, Emma.
I'm sorry, I haven't properly introduced myself. My name is Emma. And you are?
Taylor, and I like dogs.
What a coincidence, so do I.
Would you like to grab a bite to eat? Oh, what kind of food do you like?
I like pasta, Taylor. Thank you for asking.
Emma.
Yeah?
I think you're the girl of my dreams.
I know.
Wow, meeting of the minds. How many of you maybe started your relationship like that? Or maybe pretty much close to it. It reminded me of a relationship that I was in many years ago. We understood each other. When something happened with one of us, the other knew what happened. And, well, I called it the good news, bad news relationship. The bad news was we finally broke up, but we're still friends. And the good news is that the money now stays in my pocket. Okay, moving on. The next play is called Keepsake, and is being directed once again by Dr. Wilbur. Now, here's what Peggy Powell had to say. Keepsakes was inspired by an article that I had read concerning the technology in this play. I was especially moved by the desperate people who place their hopes in it. The story that made me think about how we might be affected by the advances we have now in our society and how we might not be prepared for the emotional impact that some of these changes will have. Now, I'm sure we all have keepsakes, right?
Yeah.
But, well, let's see if it's true for everyone.
It feels like I'm opening up a safe deposit box.
I'm not sure I've ever thought about it that way before.
You haven't? Well, that's what it feels like to me. Opening up a safe deposit box and hoping that whatever it was I saved is still valuable. Or that it was worth saving. Like maybe I thought I put in my grandmother's diamond ring, but it turns out it was just costume jewelry. Something like that. Oh God, do I sound callous? I hope I don't sound callous.
This can be more trying than people realize.
I'm just not sure that I'm ready.
You can take as much time as you need.
Really? I thought you were going to just shove me in here, pop it open, and bam, over and done with.
No, of course not. We understand that this is a deeply significant moment. Most people need time to adjust. If you need privacy, I can...
No, please stay with me. You're keeping me calm. How long did you say you've worked here?
About 2 years.
2 years. My son, our son, I guess I should get used to saying that again, was 2 years old when it happened.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, it was a long time ago. Johnny has kids of his own now. I tried to get him to come, but he wanted to wait until afterwards. It's going to be a shock for him.
There is an adjustment factor, but people are generally pleased with the results.
Generally?
People are pleased with the results.
But not always.
There is a spectrum of reactions, and we do try to prepare all of our clients, but there are sometimes difficulties.
Oh, of course, difficulties. All the changes. But I don't think it will be bad for him. Keaton was an early adopter. That's what they called it in those days. He always had to have the latest iPhones, the latest gadgets, the latest this, the latest that. He'll love all of it.
I hope so.
I'm not so sure, though, about everything. It's funny. Millennials were supposed to ruin everything, and now I'm saying the same thing about your generation. You've taken it too far. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way of the world. Do you have a contract yourself? For this, I mean.
I'm sorry, but we are not allowed to disclose that information.
Of course not. It's like asking your psychiatrist if he's on any antidepressants. You don't believe in your own medicine, doctor? I'm sorry. I'm usually a very nice person, but this, I'm not prepared for it.
No need to apologize.
When I was on my way over here, I kept thinking about all the changes. I still can't believe them. I've lived through them. Like self-driving cars. Did you know that when I was young, people were scared of them? I never thought they'd be mandatory. And this, people were terrified by this sort of thing. Does any of this ever bother you?
I think it's more important what you think.
Are you a psychologist?
Sorry?
You act like a psychologist or an undertaker. You don't tell me what you think. You're sharing this major moment with me, and you're trying to be a blank slate. I hate blank slates. Please don't be a blank slate. What did you say your name is?
Mason.
Mason. Such an old-fashioned name. I haven't heard that for years. I just want to know what you think, Mason, about all of this. What you really think.
Well,
I mean, do you question it? Like, is this natural? Should we be doing this?
Sorry.
Never mind. I'm not being fair. Keaton wanted this. He signed up for it. Do you know that I didn't even know about this kind of thing until after the accident? I can't even pronounce it.
Cryonics.
See, I still can't say it. Cryonics. It's kind of funny now, looking back.
What is?
That it was a car accident. When is the last time you heard about a car accident? It's like telling someone your husband was killed by a Roman chariot on the loose. People think you're joking. Have you ever driven a car?
In games, of course.
No, I mean a real car.
No, of course not.
No, of course not. I've never driven a horse and buggy. There you go. The funny thing is, if it weren't for all this, I think I could have moved on. I was still young and beautiful. I could have remarried. But I kept hoping that the science would catch up faster than it did. I thought, well, the way things are moving, maybe in the next 5 years. 5 years goes by fast, especially when you're raising a child. You get preoccupied. Another 5 years pass and another, and before you know it, you're an old woman.
You don't seem that old to me.
You're very sweet. Thank you. But I am old. And Keaton's not even human anymore.
Oh, don't worry. We preserved him exactly as he was after the reconstruction. He's the same as he was before the accident. Because his brain had been uninjured, it was possible for the company to salvage him and preserve his body.
No, I don't mean it like that. At some point, he stopped being a human being. It was like having this memory hang over me, but it wasn't like a regular memory where you think about it and move on. No, it was like a memory of the dead, but one that demands all the attention of the living. I've spent my life knowing my husband could come back at any time. Like he went away for some coffee and could be back at any moment. I've waited 40 years for this. 40 years for my husband to come back from the dead.
I'm glad that we've been able to assist you in your time of need.
Thank you. I wonder what kind of journey he's been on. I mean, where has he been all this time?
We keep all of our clients in the climate-controlled pods until they are ready to be...
No, I mean his soul. What kind of journey has his soul been on? I mean, has he been to heaven, hell, Idaho? Has he been in some kind of purgatory, waiting for his mind and body to be put back together again? Maybe he's been lashed by demons in the pits of hell? Oh, I hope he hasn't been suffering in the pit of hell this whole time. Has that ever happened?
In the contract, we specifically state that we are not responsible for what may happen during out-of-body experiences, should they exist or not. That is, we make no claims to the existence or non-existence of the afterlife and claim no liability to either scenario. We are only responsible for the body. The soul is out of our jurisdiction.
All right then, what's it like when they come back? I'm nervous about him waking up.
Your husband's body has been checked and approved for revival. His brain is healthy. It will be like waking up from an operation. There will be a moment of disorientation, of course, but we will provide counselors for that process.
Well, is it successful? I mean, usually?
We have a very healthy success rate. Compared to our competitors, our clients have an overwhelmingly positive readjustment to the contemporary world.
I never thought about it until today.
Thought about what?
That I've been held captive.
Oh, no, the contract was signed willingly. Section 4, Part 2 states that...
No, not by you, by him. He was afraid of dying, so he signed up with you to take a chance on a second chance.
Of course he did. He was very lucky.
But it had nothing to do with me. He wasn't thinking about me. Sorry, I'm feeling a little emotional.
I can step outside if you need a moment.
No, please stay here. It helps me to talk about him. He was an early adopter, like I said. He won't have any problems adjusting to this new world, all the changes. He might have trouble adjusting to me, who I am now, but he's going to love this whole new world. You know, he loves gadgets and... But you know what?
What?
I'm not sure that he loved life that much. He was so scared. Do you know what I mean?
It can be normal to be scared. Sometimes.
That's what I thought. Growing up, we were always so scared. We just, we were frightened all the time. But when I got the news that Keaton had been in a terrible car accident, it was horrible. It tore my heart out. There I was with this tiny little baby and my husband dead. It was the realization of my worst fear, losing my husband. I loved him so much. I still do, don't get me wrong.
Most of our clients find it a relief to know that we can revive persons who have been properly preserved.
Maybe. I can understand the hope for revival in the afterlife, if there is one. But the hope of a revival on Earth? You know what's strange? Up until now, I never found it creepy. That's the weird thing. I just always thought he'd be coming back and that technology would take care of it all. Technology will take care of everything, won't it?
We believe in using technology for the betterment of humanity.
Of course you do. But my little boy has grown up and I've been okay. I have a grandson and life moved on. My worst fear happened and I survived, even if Keaton didn't. He's been packed away in here waiting for some kind of revival, like those religious people wait for the dead to rise. Actually, he seems more like a frozen casserole waiting to be popped into the oven. Time to start the defrosting. Don't you think that's weird?
Not to me, and I don't think...
Yes?
I shouldn't say it.
Go ahead.
It's just... I don't think he's like a casserole.
Don't worry, I'm not planning on eating him. He's safe. All right, how long does it take once the revival starts?
About a minute.
That fast?
His body has already been woken up. We just need to prick him awake. He paid extra for it. The Revival Plus edition. Normally it takes 20 minutes.
That's Keaton. Can't waste 20 minutes. Pay extra for the speed. Phone service, internet connection, waking up from the dead, whatever. It's gotta be fast, fast, fast. But you know what's funny? He won't be grateful to be alive again. He's going to be pissed that he spent 40 years laying around doing nothing, that he could have been working this whole time. Oh, I'd forgotten that part, the 80-hour work weeks, lost in his coding or his video games. I spent more time texting him than I did talking to him. Come to think of it, I'm surprised we found the time to get me pregnant. We probably scheduled it. You start to wonder what you've been waiting for. Waiting for someone who likes his work more than you, who never helped you change a diaper, who will just probably be happier to see all the new technology than to see my wrinkled old face. Sometimes I think he loved his work more than me.
Why don't I give you some privacy? You can let me know when you're ready.
Mason, help me. I don't want to do it.
You don't want to?
I don't want to revive him. Is that allowed? Can I do that? Can I just leave him locked up in here?
We don't usually. It depends on the contract, but normally we can't.
I won't give it to him. He didn't appreciate life enough the first time. Why should he get a second chance? I'm not getting a second chance. I don't want to bring him back. He can stay in his climate-controlled box. Maybe we could throw a cell phone in there, then he'd have everything he needs.
Let me check his contract. I'll be right back.
No, I won't. You made this decision without me. I could have moved on. I could have married someone else. I should have. But I wanted you back. I kept hoping they'd bring you back to me. You were the special person who was going to come back to me. I was saving you for a special occasion. Sometime in the future, on a special day, I'll get a phone call. My husband will be alive again. Why didn't you just die? Like a normal person. Normal people die. They die and they let other people move on. What makes you so special? I could have visited your grave, brought you flowers. I could have grieved, and I could have moved on. I wouldn't have spent my life waiting for you to come back. I've spent my life waiting on a corpse. There, I've said it. I've been waiting for my corpse husband to come back from the dead. Why did you do this, Keaton? This isn't fair.
According to your husband's contract, we are legally obligated to revive him. We apologize for any inconvenience.
So that's that.
So it is.
And there's no getting around it?
Your participation in this is voluntary. I have a form that you can sign if you
Do
would
you
like
have
to.
a form promising me that he'll still love me? That I'll still love him?
I'd be happy to speak with my manager about any options we have to offer you.
Okay. We're back to being blank slates again. We might as well get things rolling. Let's get this party started. How does it work?
I'll prick him awake. He'll be disoriented, but then he'll remember. He won't be aware that time has passed, so please be aware of his confusion. As soon as he is fully awake, I will send in one of the counselors to help you both with this process, like it said in the instructional video.
I didn't pay attention to them. I hate those things.
You'll be okay, ma'am. It's normal to have mixed feelings.
You don't talk about that in the brochures.
No, we don't. Are you ready?
If you can call it that. Wake up, honey. It's me, Kara. You were in a car accident, but you were saved by that cryonics company. It's been a few years. I'm so glad to see you. No, don't try to talk yet. Just take a minute to be still. Take a moment. Oh God, Keaton. I love you.
I guess that's one way for an older woman to get a younger man. You know, I was thinking about that cryogenics thing and how cold it must be. I lived up in Alaska. My dad was in the military, so we lived up in Fairbanks, and I remember it got down to like 62 degrees, below zero. I mean, it was so cold.
How cold was it?
Damn. It was so cold that all the lawyers up there had their hands in their own pockets. Wow. That's cold, that's cold, yes. Okay, let's move on. The next play is called OMG, and it's written by Kauai's very own Wil Welsh, and it was directed by Nell. Now, here's Wil's intro. Suppose one day you're enjoying your morning coffee at your favorite coffee shop, and then God walks in and strikes up a conversation. Would he, or maybe she, be pleased with humanity? Or what incredible perspectives could God share with a lowly human? Might God think a bit differently than one might expect? Well, without further ADO, here is OMG.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole 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 wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
OMG! That's right. OMG, that's me. How do you do?
You really do exist.
Did you doubt it?
Well, yes, but you're real.
Apparently.
You look exactly as I expected.
I get that all the time.
I am in awe.
Of course. Do they serve decaf?
I'm sure they do.
A shot of caramel?
I'll get it.
Oh, no, that's okay. Just testing you.
They heard you. They're getting it.
Thank you. I don't really need coffee.
No, I guess you wouldn't. You wouldn't need much of anything, I guess.
Oh?
You being, well, who you are and all.
You don't think I need anything?
I'm sorry, but you're...
OMG.
You don't need anything.
A common misconception.
Really? What could God want?
Huh.
Huh?
Why do you think I invented the universe?
I've never thought about that.
Well, think about it.
Why you invented the universe?
If you were me, why would you invent a universe?
Wow.
Go ahead. Imagine you're me.
And you're what? In the void? All alone?
That's right.
With nothing to do?
Mm-hmm. But I can do anything. I mean, you can do anything.
I see. I guess I'd like somebody to talk to.
Talking is important to you.
Somebody to be with.
People?
A man.
My, you are human.
Oops. I guess being God and all, you're not human.
We're talking about the beginning of the universe here. Well before humans came into the picture. Well before men and women.
So loneliness is what? Strictly a human emotion?
You tell me, friend.
I'd want a companion, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And entertainment.
Movies, games, sports.
Soap operas.
You don't get it, do you?
I'm only human.
I keep forgetting. Keep in mind, if you were me, you have the entire spectrum of possibilities, without constraints, with no limitations. You can do anything at all. The whole thing could be a soap opera if you wanted it to look like that, but why would you?
Animals. I could put animals in the universe.
Just a procedural question. Don't you need some place to put them?
A zoo?
Land, planets. We're starting over here. There's nothing out there. Nothing. That's why they call it the void.
Oh, yes. So, first I would create the heavens and the earth.
So you've read Genesis.
I went to Sunday school.
All right. Go ahead. Heaven and earth, good.
Water, air, things like that.
Okay.
Trees and grass and flowers, I guess.
And flowers are nice.
Well, tigers.
Oh, beautiful if I do say so myself.
Elephants, wolves, lions, rabbits.
Okay, insects and birds and reptiles and fish and whales. I can give you a list.
And of course, humans.
Adam and Eve.
I guess.
Makes a good story.
What about evolution?
What about it? This is your universe you're creating.
Well, you opted for evolution, right?
I had the time.
So it was mostly about entertainment? Amusing yourself?
I'm not sure amusing myself is the right word. Unlike humans, a sense of humor isn't inherent in my, for a want of a better word, thinking.
So you were just what? Experimenting?
Of course. I wanted to see what would happen. It's quite exciting to take a simple idea like, say, cell division and see what it leads to. Bottom line, that's why you're here.
Cell division.
Life started with single-cell creatures. They divided again, etc., ad infinitum.
Until voila, here I am.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. Once you set things in motion, started the single cells or whatever, then you just let it run. You didn't interfere, direct things, make sure thumbs opposed or eyes developed binocular vision.
Isn't it wonderful? Things happen and keep happening, things I could not have foreseen.
But don't you know everything?
What fun would that be? Why would I do anything if I already knew everything?
Don't you?
Look, I choose not to know everything, okay? I set things in motion.
Things. Planets, stars, single-celled creatures.
Sure, exactly. Reverse a black hole and OMG, you get a show. Wow.
You're not at all what I expected.
Don't I look right?
Oh, you look fine. Perfect. But you're thinking, it's, I don't know.
Weird, ungodlike, otherworldly.
Well,
if you were me and knew everything, would you want to know the future as well? Would you want to know everything? Boring.
So you're saying all of this is just the result of your starting something and just letting it run?
Yep.
Aren't you tempted to interfere? Make changes here and there? Respond to prayers? Set things right?
Right. What's that?
You don't know what's right? You know, right and wrong?
Oh, I've heard of that.
Wait a minute. Didn't you invent right and wrong?
Oh, no, that's a human invention.
What about heaven and hell?
Human.
I don't understand.
Look, if I set things in motion and interfered along the way based on some idea of mine that's right or wrong or good and bad, then the responsibility is entirely mine. Creatures and solar systems, everything would be totally predictable. People wouldn't even have to think. They could leave everything just to me.
Some people believe that's what to do.
Frankly, I don't worry about what people believe. Humans believe they're the top of the food chain, or the smart chain, or the spiritual chain. In a sense, they are. They're having invented those hierarchies. Of course, they'd be the best at their own concepts.
But who else would occupy the top positions?
Cockroaches, mosquitoes, dung beetles.
All insects?
Oh, I'm sorry, of course not. Fish, birds, oak trees, you name it. And that's what you just find in what you call Earth. Now, I get to watch everything. I was a big fan of the dinosaurs until that errant meteorite interrupted that brain. I didn't see that coming. My, oh my, what glorious creatures those dinosaurs were. Some were developing intelligence well beyond just searching for food, killing it, and eating it, you know. Whales and dolphins, oh, they're coming along nicely. When humans eradicate themselves, I hope they have a chance. The evolution of the octopus is a wonderful thing. They have 9 brains, you know.
9 brains?
1 for each leg and 1 extra. Quite amazing. Fantastic possibilities.
And they're just as fascinating as humans?
Humans have 1 brain, 2 arms, where the octopus... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this strictly from an objective viewpoint, of course.
Of course.
Have you ever looked closely at a spider? I mean, real close?
Not too close.
Incredible eyes. Flies, too.
Wow.
Well, my coffee's ready. It's been nice talking to you. Call me sometime. Anytime. Could you get the check?
Sure.
Much appreciated.
Was there a man in here?
He was dressed as a man.
Beard, robe, sandals?
He was here.
Which way did he go?
That way.
How long ago?
Seconds.
I've got to find him. Get him back in.
In?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a social worker at the hospital. He left without permission. I've got to find him. Thanks.
OMG.
Wow, OMG. That's what it looks like. I'll just move on to the next story. Well, in our final play from our playwrights from around the world, and we're going to have a fascinating look at a story called The New Normal. Now, it was written by a local playwright and directed by Cass Foster. Now, here is what Morgan Liddell chose to share with us. The New Normal is a play about a day in the life of a loving couple living with terminal cancer. Most of us have loved ones who have battled this dread disease. And what this play intimately reveals is that love conquers all. And despite the most challenging circumstances, where there is love, there can be tenderness, and even humor. We now wrap up our Black Box Theater experience exploring Morgan Liddell's version of a new normal.
Well, that was a day's work. What time is it?
Oh, about 9:30. I love the sun.
You know, things would go more smoothly if you would let me make your clothing choices for you.
I'm not dead yet.
I'd just like to dress you in the most efficient way possible.
No buttons.
For example.
No thanks.
Oh, and we have to get the expensive paper tape.
Oh, here's to your first day as a wound nurse.
I mean, what good is frickin' tape that doesn't stick?
Well, it is in the worst possible place.
Yes, who would have thought I would have a master's in accounting and a minor in bed sores?
You know, the wound nurses have commented, what a good job you're doing.
The wound nurses. Oh.
You know, it seems treating my wounds provides us with our most intimate moments.
Depends upon what you call intimate.
Well, you know. Oh,
yeah,
right.
Assisting you with the discharge of certain bodily fluids.
Ooh, you're being kinky.
But not aroused.
Thank God. Oh, did you pick up more pink pads?
Yes, at Long's yesterday. I have refilled our entire inventory. We now have pink, orange, and purple pads. Oh, I was making my way back to checkout, and I saw Pat crossing my path.
Oh, who else?
And, you know, right, here my arms are filled with leaky people stuff. It was just more than I wanted to share with old Pat.
Well, she might have thought they were for you.
What? Jesus. Anyway, I went into my evasive maneuver and veered into the lawn and garden section and went into a holding pattern.
Did you see anyone else?
No, I got out unscathed.
Did you get up at 6 again today?
Yeah.
Not sleeping?
No, I mean, if I get up at 6 and get my caffeine fix, that means I have 3 uninterrupted hours to take care of business.
So you are totally taking advantage of my indolence.
Yes.
And you just wake me whenever it's convenient for you.
Exactly.
Fine. Just don't let me sleep past 9:30.
You got it.
Remember when we both used to wake up early to take care of business?
Yes, I remember when you used to wake me up.
No, you used to wake me up.
Was our sex better than our memory?
I've forgotten. Of course, I used to always wake up before you.
Yes, you used to make the coffee and I used to roll over.
I carried your ass.
Ugh.
I did everything then.
So that's it, bad karma?
Ironic turnabout, eh?
You know, if you keep this up, you may not get your morning coffee.
What? That would be the worst kind of physical abuse.
Oh, come on. I could physically abuse you and you wouldn't even know it.
Really?
Sure, just up your pain medication.
You're sick. I'm going to have to report you to the hospice authorities.
No, it's too late, old girl. I've already spoken with hospice and discussed how we had to make sure that you had boundaries and that I was going to rule with an iron fist. Whatever I say goes.
You must be taking my methadone.
Well, you don't think that great insight came from coffee.
Martin, thank you for not being miserable.
Have you not been watching?
No, listen. If I saw you being miserable, I just wouldn't have the will to keep on. I just couldn't do that to you.
As usual, you have everything ass backwards. I mean, it's not about me not being miserable. You've suffered. I mean, first your toes, your feet, your legs, and now your hands. And I have never seen you indulge in self-pity, not once. And you always seem to enjoy yourself. You inspire me.
Of course I'm enjoying myself. You're waiting on me hand and foot.
Hey, you better not be conning me.
You know, it's been such a slow progression of, I think it just makes acceptance of all these changes easier. I think it'd been more challenging if I'd been, say, paralyzed in a car accident, you know?
Yeah, your insurance would have gone up.
Oh, for God's sake. On the other hand, a slow progression seems to go on.
Yes, forever.
You must feel like that, huh?
At times, I guess.
Well, if I'm living too long, it's your fault.
Oh, you'll outlive me for sure.
Oh, I am not outliving my servant.
Look, I know it may seem like forever, but I know better.
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
We never could have done this when we were younger. When we were,
Oh, like self-serving scumbags?
Right. But somehow you've become patient and attentive and compassionate and I became a saint.
Hold it. If you're a saint, do I get a spiritual designation of some kind?
Nah, it's on a case-by-case basis.
Damn.
Martin?
Yeah?
I made a decision.
Yeah?
I've decided to stop chemo.
Okay.
Chances are the chemo's causing the neuropathy. And since there's no chance of remission, maybe we can halt the neuropathy or maybe even reverse it.
What do you mean remission is out of the question?
I know we've been tiptoeing around that one for a while, but I'm ready to accept it. And those infusion appointments, they're just so difficult for both of us.
I can't believe you're saying this.
You don't agree?
I'm in shock. It's just that, well, I've never seen you give up on anything. You always put up the good fight.
For 10 years, we've been fighting one battle after another.
Yes, and you're still here with me.
Am I?
Very much so.
It's time we get our lives back. We've earned our liberation.
Take our lives back.
Yes.
My God, it's just that we've spent so many years hoping.
No regrets. But we can do better than that.
But what if the chemo doesn't go well?
Do you believe that?
No.
And I sure would like to have my hands back.
Oh, please say to me, you'll let me be your man. And please say to me, you'll let me hold your hand.
Oh, you sing to me and you make me laugh. Life is good. Do you want the rest of my coffee?
There's another first.
It's the new normal.
All right, ready for your drugs?
Yeah, sure.
Do you ever wonder what would happen if we used a placebo?
This is no time to experiment.
No, I mean, what if your body has learned to adjust to the pain, but will never know because of the pain medication?
I am willing to take that risk.
I don't think we're being responsible with your dosages.
Do you see this spoon?
I think we should cut your dosage in half.
I can see the headlines. Husband found in small pieces in backyard. Apparent drug dispute.
Either you are the most courageous woman I have ever met, or you are just high as a kite.
Can I be both?
Apparently.
Martin, I have another surprise for you.
You've exceeded your quota.
No, we talked about this before.
Okay.
bringing in a hospital bed.
For you?
God, you're brilliant.
I thought we weren't ready for that yet.
Oh, I'll be more secure and comfortable, and it'll be easier for you.
Well, it's not about...
It's got a special air cushion for my bed sores, you know? And that way I can change my position more easily.
And would you sleep in this bed? I mean, at night?
I suppose.
Well, you know I wouldn't fit in that bed with you.
No.
You've already ordered it.
Yeah.
When is it coming?
Next week.
I don't like this.
Why?
Isn't it obvious?
No.
You could die without me.
Oh, how could I?
Well, we promised to die in each other's arms.
But Martin, we were 22.
And we meant it.
The idea has become so impractical.
Well, death is impractical.
Okay, how about this? We sleep together once a week on holidays and special occasions.
Okay. But if we're sleeping separately and you're dying, you have to groan loud enough so that I can hear you.
Even if I could do that, I mean, what if I'm no longer aware of your presence?
Some things never change.
Martin, thank you.
Again?
When I'm with you, I'm not afraid.
And you are my hero.
Do we have more blueberries?
Yes, Your Highness.
Don't give up. It's just the weight of the world.
That's the way to end the opening night of a play festival, a story about love. Well, that wraps things up for the festival. Hope you had fun. Now comes the hard part. Remember those ballots that you have on your table, please. Remember to fill them out, looking for the best stage play, because the best written play has already been selected from the board of directors, and we're going to announce that at the end of the festival. In the meantime, we want to thank our actors, our technicians, our directors, our tech people for all the volunteer work that they do to put this together. We would like to also, especially this unique type of theater, and while I'm on the subject of unique theater, how many remember last year when they brought a greater, wait a minute, I went blank, hold on a second.
Tuna.
Greater tuna, that's right. Well, they're going to bring another version of that, a Tuna Christmas. That's going to be coming up in October. Those same playwrights are going to have created more side-splitting humor about two actors playing over 20 characters in that fictional town called Tuna, Texas. That'll be coming up in October. So go to the womenintheater.org website. You can get your tickets and get them quick because that performance is going to sell out. Again, thank you very much for joining us. If you enjoyed it, be sure to tell your friends. This is opening week, a great way to start a 3-day weekend, and tell your friends to come join us. Get their tickets now before it's too late at womenintheater.org. Again, thank you very much for helping support theater here on this island, especially women in theater. Drive safely, have a good night, and remember to live your life with ALOHA. Have a good night.